Evel Knievel inspired millions of us with his courage and perseverance. We're building a museum so you can relive those memories and be reinvigorated with that spirit of bravery.
My name is Evel Knievel. I'm a professional daredevil.
Along the way, we meet people involved in the life, the times, and the legacy of the King of Daredevils. Here with their stories is your host, Joe Friday.
Hey, welcome to the Evel Knievel Thrill Show from the Evel Knievel Museum. This is John Katsilometes, daily columnist with the Review Journal.
Mr. Katsilometes has earned numerous accolades, including the Nevada Press Association Journalist of the Year Award and multiple Best of the West honors, and was inducted into the UNLV College of Fine Arts Hall of Fame for his insightful coverage of the city's entertainment scene. He hosts the Podcats podcast, and that's hard to say, the Podcats podcast, and season 3 of Mobbed Up, The Fight for Las Vegas, which is required listening if you're interested in the history of the Neon City.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Allow me to introduce myself. We are bringing the Evel Knievel Museum to Las Vegas.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
It's fun. It's going to be downtown.
Yes. My neck of the woods.
It's your neck of the woods?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I live down there.
Oh, well, you can probably see it from your place.
I think I can.
Yeah.
When it's up and running, for sure.
It sounds like a happening place. Las Vegas has been very welcoming to us as far as the people go.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've adopted Monday's Dark as our Monday's hangout, and people are nice. Government a little bit hard to work with.
So, what's your position with the actual museum, if I might ask?
So, I've been volunteering there since. We opened about 8 years ago.
Okay.
My friends, I've been a Harley Davidson rider for a long time, and my friend had a Harley dealership in Topeka for 75 years. He specializes in restoration of historic motorcycles.
Okay.
Yeah. So most Harley dealerships will work on it if it's, a model within the last 10 years. But Mike will find parts at flea markets on eBay, or I'll make them at my fabrication shop and get the motorcycles ready. I had an Evel Knievel collector come in, Latham McKay, and had us restore Evel Knievel's big red circus wagon. Not a motorcycle, but a Mack truck.
Uh-huh. Okay.
He's the world's leading collector of Evel Knievel memorabilia.
Mm-hmm. Since
then, we've done a dozen motorcycles, half a dozen vehicles, plus the big red circus wagon. And so there I am just hanging out, and eventually came and bought a vehicle from Wayne Newton. He had
a buddy of mine. Yeah, I know Wayne.
I figured you would. He had a car that Evel Knievel would drive into haystacks or whatever and blow the doors off, and steam would come out of gas cylinders to make it look like it wrecked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, yeah. Well, you talked about motorcycles. My uncle, who lived in Pocatello, Idaho, back in the Evel Knievel heyday, has currently a 1966 Triumph, the same motorcycle that Evel made the Caesar's Palace jump. He has one in his possession. He made the jump, and he didn't land well, but he did make it across, and he has it in his home, completely restored. There were only 394 of those bikes made originally in 1966. There are very few of them around. So I was just talking to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, I've got an Evel Knievel
to donate."
I don't know. I'm not going to negotiate any of that, but he owns it. I will tell you factually. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool! I was just in Provo, Utah, at a foam fabrication.
Pick ourselves up with the foam
fabrication to do a 1966 Triumph that we can hang from the rafters there.
Oh, cool!
And kind of make a sequence at the Caesar's Palace exhibit. Just bonk, bonk, and then going the wrong way. And
gotcha. All right.
Got the arms and legs going.
Oh, yeah. You got to love it.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Yes. So your uncle's from are you from Idaho?
I'm originally from Pocatello, Idaho. My family's from Pocatello, Idaho. That's my first hometown. Yep.
Wow. So are you old enough to have gone to Snake River? His Snake River jump?
I am old enough to have, but I did not see the jump. Here's the story about Snake River. I would have been 7 years old, And a week before the jump, it was either a week or 2 weeks before the jump, my father took us to Twin Falls, which is about an hour and a half drive from Pocatello. And he was a veterinarian. And they had a veterinary convention at the Blue Lakes Inn there in Twin Falls, Idaho. It was pretty fancy, pretty nice hotel at the time. And we saw Evel Knievel. He was staying there himself, and he was prepping for the jump. And I was just talking to my dad to get the memory of this right. And Evel walked out of the hotel wearing a fur coat, big fur coat. And he had a staff, like a cane, it was gold plated. And women on both sides, being evil. And he came up, as I remembered, he was signing posters. And that's the first time I'd ever seen him in person was then. And the next week, he took the jump, and we watched that on Wide World of Sports. But my uncle, who I was telling you about, worked for the company we're a little sketchy on this. I thought that he worked for the company that designed the crane that took him up into the bike. He said that's not the case, but there was a brand called Bucyrus Erie on the side of the cage that he was standing in when he came into the.
Yeah,
he
I've seen that sign 1,000 times.
BE. It was a B on the top of an E, and that's where my uncle worked. That was his manufacturing company. They manufactured mostly farming equipment and stuff out of Pocatello.
I always wondered what they did.
Coincidentally, we just packed up that display in preparation of our move. Our intrepid team at the Evel Knievel Museum in Kansas set out to relocate the SkyCycle exhibit to your next favorite action sports museum, which is our future location in Las Vegas, Nevada. This steam-powered oddity, the star of Evel Knievel's 1974 Snake River Canyon splash, is a 600-pound slice of daredevil history. Disassembling the contraption was less IKEA and more Acme rocket. Part precision, part circus, all with a grin. The crew started by shoveling a truckload of actual dirt and rocks mined from the hallowed jump site, along with rusty beer cans and genuine Idaho tumbleweeds, into museum-grade containers. The SkyCycle itself, a twisted relic of Evel's wildest gamble, needed kid glove treatment. Museum techs swarmed it with curiosity and marveled at the mad scientist engineering involved in its creation. The winged vehicle was delicately lowered to the ground. It took the brawn of 7 fully caffeinated bikers, thank you, Ozhogs, to do the work of one prematurely deployed parachute, without adding so much as a scratch, as far as you know. The launch ramp, a steel beast built to catapult Evel into legend, was a different kind of monster. Weighing tons and scarred from its 1970s heyday, it demanded hoists and muscle. Tex wrestled bolts that seemed to be tightened by Lou Ferrigno on Wheaties. The ramp's gritty surface, a testament to Knievel's guts, was later cloaked in sheeting to protect its battle-worn patina. The whole gig was a high-wire act with a laugh track, Tex juggling irreplaceable parts while sidestepping stray screws and joking about Evel's canyon-sized bravado. By the end, the SkyCycle and ramp were ready to dazzle under the Vegas neon, carrying Evel's legacy of fearless, if slightly bonkers, dreams to a city that thrives on big risks and bigger stories. As you can see, we're still working feverishly to prepare for the move while simultaneously building out our space in Vegas.
So that's the Snake River Canyon. Now there's a monument to Evel at that site, and also the jump, the framework of the jump is still there. The ramp is still on that site as you drive across on the interstate, I-84. It is you can see it to the west. And it's just nondescript. But if you drive over there, if you take off the interstate, you can see dedicated to Evel Knievel. The rocket bike is on this big granite. It looks like a tombstone almost. And that's their dedication to Evel.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah.
Well, apparently next door to you, there's going to be a big-ass museum, which is also a huge tribute to Evel Knievel, with the motorcycles, rockets, capes, casts, canes.
They can have the little action figures.
Got the little action figures. Yeah, actually somebody found the original molds from those in the 1970s and is recasting those now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're going to market them? Are they going to put them on the market?
Yeah, you can buy one now. They're for sale on our Evel Knievel Museum site. And it's fun. It's like a secret code when people our age walk into the museum to experience. First, they kind of shrink down. Their freckles come back and their clothes get baggy and they turn into their 7-year-old self.
Yeah, right.
It's
like magic.
Like motionless if they're reeling in a fish, but I know they're really winding up that toy.
They worked a little differently in person than they did in the commercials. I remember that. But we had experience with in Pocatello. There was an Evel Knievel presence through his aunt and uncle. They owned Knievel's Market.
Yeah.
It was a corner, literally a corner grocery store, a little market, and they had a lot of Evel Knievel items inside there. So that was his, connection. Knievel's Market. It did business for quite some time, especially in the 70s. So he had family there, and my dad one year, who was a member of the Rotary Club, who were very active in the community, helped book Evel Knievel. Or I think had suggested that they book Evel Knievel to do a talk at the Rotary Club. And it was in the mid-'70s. Probably, it might have been after the Snake River jump. But he was still active as a daredevil. And he came in, and he got up on stage. This is the memory that my father has. He got up on stage, he introduced him, and he says, "I hate Pocatello, Idaho." And he went on to tell a story about how he had been unfairly locked up in Pocatello, Idaho, and was sitting in a little jail cell and was not happy about it and let everybody know and leveled his complaint, had his hearing, and then left. That was it. That was the appearance. That was it. That was Evel. So that's the memory that we have of Evel at that particular time. Aired his grievances and left. And years later, when I moved to Las Vegas, Evel was still alive. This was about 1996 or so. He was known to hang out at the Cloud9 bar at the Maxim Hotel Casino.
Oh, here.
And had friends there. Well, friends now, but bands used to play there. The Playboy Women of Rock and Roll, I think, was a band there that my friend Lon Bronson helped put together. Anyway, this is going back a bit. And we had heard that Evel Knievel used to hang out at the Cloud9 bar, so we went on an Evel Knievel hunt and went in there. And we saw him in there and went up and said hello to him. And he was drinking as I remembered, he was drinking a Coors Light over ice. Like a very light beverage.
My gosh.
And so we saw him there. And so Evel.
There's a lot of those stories.
Yeah, Evel Knievel.
I have a picture of a marquee at Filthy McNasty's in Los Angeles. It says, Evel Knievel, inside drunk.
I ran into Robbie, a few years ago over at the Casa de Amore. Hung out with him for a bit there after he was done with his jumps. I never covered Robbie in his jumps in Las Vegas, though. And, my friend Geechee Guy, the late Geechee Guy, the comedian, had a joke about Evel Knievel that I just loved when both he and Evel Knievel were still alive. And the joke was, I was walking in front of the Caesar's Palace fountains the other day, and I ran into Evel Knievel, and he jumped me.
Ba-dum-bum.
That's right. Or he tried to jump me. That's the other punchline. So.
Oh, yeah, that's even better.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I love that connection. I love the Vegas connection. He spent so much time in Vegas. It's always surprised me. Mm-hmm. I mean, state fairs around the whole country, but then back to Vegas, and then back to Vegas. Yeah. It's like a magnet.
Mm-hmm. It suited his identity, I think, at the time pretty well. He was kind of like an Elvis figure. I have a Halloween costume that's an Evel Knievel costume that I wear. I've worn it twice on Halloween. I've had it for about 10 years. And people often think I'm Elvis, who don't know, if they don't know Evel Knievel, because it looks like an Elvis jumpsuit. It's the stars and stripes and the cape and the whole thing.
See? Yeah. But
yeah,
there's only one way. You can tell the difference, though. You got the sideburns, you got the belt buckle, Got the cape, yes, all that is in common, but only one of them gets to call it a jumpsuit.
Well, I don't know which one is which. This is by definition a jumpsuit, a jumped suit. But yeah, he had taken an interest in Evel had taken an interest in a band that my uncle by marriage had formed. My uncle by marriage is named Steve Eaton, and he was married to my mom's sister, so that was his position in my life. They've since divorced, but we're still close. Steve Eaton had a band called Fat Chance. It was out of southeastern Idaho, and they used to play at I think it was, there was a bowling alley in Twin Falls. I can't remember the name, but I want to say it was a Pine Bowl, but I don't know that was it. But they used to play a bowling alley. And Evel used to go to the bowling alley and hang out and watch them. This is early 70s. And he had taken an interest in Fat Chance. And the story there was that he suggested that they, go big and open for other acts. And they ended up doing that. And until the band broke up in a few years. But my cousin, who's a filmmaker in Los Angeles, is working on a treatment of the story of Fat Chance, the band, that's going to include, hopefully, a stretch of Evel Knievel in the story. So he touches our world, and I think everybody's world in a unique way. He was a very unique figure in pop culture.
Yeah, he was just huge. Mm-hmm. It was so recognizable and then patriotic also, when patriotism wasn't really in style. That's when he got his first red, white, and blue suit, was 1968. That he wore at Caesars. Mm-hmm. That was when, we're protesting Vietnam.
Yeah. That's a different era. Yeah. Different time. But he certainly made his mark. I'm looking forward to seeing the museum.
Yeah, it should be cool.
Do you guys have a partnership? Is the Evel Pie part of the museum family at all? The restaurant?
No.
Okay.
But Brandon Powers is building a pizza place right next to ours, and it's a great concept. He also did the Golden Tiki.
Yeah, I know Brandon. Yeah. Has he been on this? Has he talked to you?
Yeah, he's been on this.
Yeah.
So he describes his vision of a fun restaurant, and it's pretty awesome. He's found the last of the showbiz pizza animatronics, and he's going to get them dressed up in leathers and mullets.
Very
They're
cool.
Gonna do heavy metal. Mothership Coffee's also moving in that same building.
Cool.
I had no idea how. First of all, I had no idea how friendly and welcoming Las Vegans are. Mm-hmm. Really, really kind, nice people.
Well, that's
so far.
That's the heart of the kind of the city. If you put on a pin on a map, that's kind of the middle of the valley where this is going to go, where we live. Fremont Street, that whole area. I'm about a half a mile from the plaza where I live, and Fremont Street hotels. So it's the nerve center of the local community, at least the entertainment district for the locals. Yeah. Yeah,
good. Well, we do. I mean, our museum is going to depend on tourism. It definitely depend on locals to come volunteer and also work and do all the.
Well, that's true. We got Mob Museum down there. We got the Punk Rock Museum down there. We got the Neon Museum in our radius. It's a museum central. You can do a whole.
Isn't it funny how that worked out?
Tour of museums. Yeah.
I love the Punk Rock Museum.
I do too. They did a great job with that. Yeah, they did a really great. All those I've named, they've done terrific jobs with them. I expect this will be right.
And Zach Baggins also.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
I just saw Zach yesterday. I kid you not, this happened to me. I was pulling into the Park MGM and valet, and I get out of my car, and this guy gets out of his car, and we look at each other, and it's Zach, and who I know, who my family knows, and he was there going to the WrestleMania, the Raw. Not WrestleMania, WWE Raw, and got to reconnect with him. He has recorded an episode of his Ghost Adventures from my dad's bed and breakfast in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, which is just next to Pocatello.
You didn't tell me it was haunted.
It's haunted. Well, Zach says it's haunted. He spent 3 days there, did a whole TV show about it.
He would know.
But yeah, he's got the lights and the equipment, and he took over the entire place. So, although I've been to my dad's inn dozens of times over the years, and I've never seen anything. So, but Zach says
you gonna trust the experts?
I only trust my own experiences, and I have yet to be approached by an apparition. But I do trust that Zach has a lot of equipment to find them. So, yeah. So he says it's haunted. Who's to argue?
Yeah. Speaking of Raw,
Yes.
I got to take a moment and thank the space, which is run by
Speaking of
Raw's
Raw.
own Mark.
Oh, that's
Nash.
right. Mark Nash.
Yes.
He looks a lot like Mark Chinook, who hosts
Doesn't
Monday
it?
Dark.
Uncanny.
Yeah, they're like twins.
It's amazing.
I think he's severed. You know the show Severance. I think he's got an innie and an outie. Mark.
You know, we started this podcast to keep people interested in what's going on with the museum while we build out our actual museum. In that museum will be a podcast space, but in the interim, we didn't really have a place where we could go. The space has volunteered for us to record our podcasts here, and this is a place that you could support by coming to their secret party on Mondays. They raise $10,000 for local charities. It's a pretty cool program because, like Broadway or the West End, things are closed down on the Strip on Mondays. This gives the chance for the headliners on the Strip to come down, kind of cut loose. Like the guy that plays Cher all week doesn't have to do that. He can come sing Verdi's operas. And so it's a lot of fun. It costs like $20, $30 to get in, and it's a total blast. So we do want to extend our gratitude to the space for what you're seeing and hearing right now.
I was just here for that last night, the Monday's Dark. They did the Beatles show. I forget the charity. It's a charity show.
It was Make a Room.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Room.
Okay. Mark Badane was here from the A's. He was here. His family has an interest in that charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Well, they're doing great things here, and you guys are doing great things, and it's a great community effort, great community partnership, you know.
Yeah. Well, you're doing great things too. I depended a lot on your previous podcasts and on your articles for other things to do, which our visitors will want to know once they get here. You know, where we're going to eat and what other attractions we're going to see. And so I was glad you mentioned those museums.
Yeah, we're museum heavy. We just announced Bob Marley's Hope Road is coming into Mandalay Bay in June. That's going to be a whole experience, walk-around experience dedicated to Bob Marley's music and history and the reggae culture. And that's going to be a big deal. So we just announced that, broke that today, this morning. And there's a lot of those. There's a lot of walk-arounds. There's a lot of, you know, John Wick is over at Area 15. They've got Amplified over at Area 15, the Rolling Stone History of Rock and Roll show. There's quite a few of these coming online now.
Yeah, right. And also at Area 15 or close to it is the Universal Haunted House.
Yeah.
That ought to be awesome.
That will be good. Yeah, there's a lot of revenue behind that, a lot of backing. Yeah, and same with Wick and same with Rolling Stone when the Amplified. That's an ongoing. Those are
Where's
ongoing.
that?
That's right next to the John Wick. It's in the oh God, what do they call it? The Portal? No, the Illuminarium. I'm sorry, the Illuminarium.
Oh, I don't
And
know.
it's just next to, just west of the main Area 15 building where they have Omega Mart. Just to the west, and there's Illuminarium, Amplified, Rolling Stone History of Rock and Roll, and then just to the south of that is John Wick. Next to that, so it's kind of where 20,000 Leagues
used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. It touches that space. So
That's a great space too.
did you looked at that at the
We
strip for
looked.
them?
I mean, I felt obligated. I have to look at Caesar's Palace because
Absolutely. Yeah.
we crashed. But that is not going to happen yet.
Not yet.
And then,
I know.
And then did our due diligence at Area 15.
They've got the Link
and-
Promenade too. They have a lot of activations, but I don't think they would have enough space for what you guys do available at the Link. But yeah, obviously Caesars is the the place that he did. He ever jump anywhere else in Las Vegas other than Caesars? I don't remember.
I
that
don't
he
think
did.
so.
I don't think
But
he did.
hung out, as you were saying at the museum, and hung out with Jay Sarno.
Yeah.
So hung out at Circus.
That was a good guy to
Circus.
hang out with, Jay Sarno. You're going to have a fun night if you're hanging out with Jay Sarno in the 1970s, 60s, and 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He was a good time guy.
Yeah. But
A
I think we
gourmand.
laid- Say what?
A gourmand, they called him. That's a term for him. Gourmand. Loved life in excess.
I'll always learn something from Johnny Katz. So great. But we did land in the right spot, I think. The Arts District is great. It's away from everything if people would like to get away from everything. And a lot of people would like to get away from everything after 3 days in Vegas. Take a day off, go see the museum.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. And so I don't know, have you heard where the Neon Museum is going to land?
Not specifically. I think we've reported, but I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what parcel. I mean, it's downtown. It's in the Arts District. They have two different places. Yeah, I need to follow up on that. But near you guys.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Good. Well, it was such a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Wanted to for a long time.
You too.
We're in the same place at the same time. We were at the same show last night.
Yeah,
Just
and here. Didn't we go to weren't you at the Westgate for the, wasn't there a gala around the holiday season? There was an the tree, right? The tree thing.
Oh,
the
man.
Evel
The
Knievel
things that I owe you.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, right. How much do I owe you for that? John Katz was the judge at this Christmas tree fundraiser that we did.
I judged everything fair and square, but I loved it. The Evel tree was very specific. I think a lot of people loved it. It was distinctive. God, we had about 20 trees at least that were decorated.
Oh, at least. That was so
City
much
of Lights? What would they call that charity? Anyway.
Festival of Trees?
Festival of Trees, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very non-religious.
All the trees,
title, whatever
all
it's
those
called.
trees were impressive. They were all different, but the Evel ones just popped.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what we did was we donated a tree to the cause, which was it was not Opportunity Village. It was Down syndrome
of Nevada, and Linda Smith's son was honored.
So great.
She used to be with Opportunity Village, and she was an honoree. We recognized her as a woman of the night. Yeah, I just saw her on Easter over at the Jungle Palace at Siegfried and Roy's old home. She was over there with the Down syndrome event on Easter Sunday.
Oh, they had
She's
an incredible
active.
tree too.
Yes,
that was a nice.
the one dedicated to her son. That was Linda's.
Okay.
Yeah.
By way of explanation, Team Knievel, that is the family, museum, and fan club, banded together to donate a Christmas tree to a charity event. We bedazzled the pre-lit Christmas tree with red, white, and blue ribbon, laced with glittery reproductions of Evel's famous belt buckle. Folks from Everything Evel sent some vintage toys to nestle in the boughs. California Creations contributed dozens of miniature stunt cycles that were wired up as ornaments. Wrapped under the tree were 2 kid-sized bicycles, custom designed with trademark stars and iconic number 1 plates, complete with matching safety helmets, of course. There were tote bags and a pair of signed prints, one from Caesar's Palace and another from Kings Island. My wife, Bessie, channeled her inner florist from a previous career to top the whole thing with a festive bow featuring a historic stunt cycle from 1974, which, as we know, topped every child's wish list. The whole holiday assembly was auctioned off during dinner at the Festival of Trees, commanding the highest price to support Down Syndrome Organization of Southern Nevada. It's a cause near and dear to our winner, our friend and fellow EK fan, Daryl Borges. Major props to him for the generous donation, and much thanks to his roommate, who's enduring the year-round display at his apartment. By the time dessert was served, we were awarded the Judge's Choice Award for Best Overall Design. Congratulations, Bessie. Coincidentally, the judge that night was this very same Johnny Katz, who I didn't know at the time.
It was good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Okay. So we're winners thanks to John Katz, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Checks in the mail.
Until next time, happy landings.
All right. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. It's our mission to preserve and present the legacy of Evel Knievel. So if you have an idea for an episode or a guest, or have a suggestion to improve our show, just drop us a line at joe@thrill.show.
I just think the Evel Knievel way.
We leave you with the encouraging words from the book of Deuteronomy. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Until next time, happy landings.
If you like to fly to the seat of your pants, this is where you belong.